All right, the Knicks are looking to get back to 500 in their 10th game of the season when they head on down to Philly tonight to play the 76ers. So let's talk hashtag New York forever. And, of course, we're going to preview tonight's game with Jon Kolnoski of Big Knick Energy. John, two things, man. I always get nervous when I got to say Big Knick Energy. And how you doing, my man, number two?
Trust me, I do too, and I'm doing all right. How are you, Brandon?
All is well, man. Let's talk about the game tonight, man. The Knicks are 4-5 on the season, but throw the records out. A rivalry game is a rivalry game. It's an NBA Cup game. Plus, Joel Embiid is making his NBA season debut this year. Both teams need a dub. So, which matchups are you keeping your eyes on tonight?
Well, first off, I think the Knicks are winning. You know, Maxi's out, and Embiid's making his debut with a kind of new roster, playing with Paul George for the first time. I think the Knicks have a kind of lucky gamble here where they're kind of playing a team with a new roster as much as theirs for the first time this season. So kind of looking at that front court matchup, seeing what Embiid does against Cat and the backups, but hoping Brunson and the wings kind of, go to town on a pretty much depleted Philly backcourt.
All right, I got a stat reaction for you because this is something that a lot of Knicks fans and the content creators who I've been talking to, they got their eyes on. If I was to tell you that the Knicks were outscored in the fourth quarter 3 out of the last 4 games, 1, what would be your why? And 2, if you're Tibbs, how you cleaning that up, man?
Well, first, I'd absolutely believe it. This team isn't really playing like a complete unit yet, and they've played a lot of teams so far that the rosters have mostly been intact from last season. I think the Hawks are the closest thing to a new roster after the DeJounte Murray trade, and that wasn't even that big of a shakeup, and they lost that one. But forgive the pun around tonight's opponent. We got to trust the process. I know it's NBA Cup time, and the NBA Cup has been super fun. Love what the league has done to inject some energy into the first part of this season. But this team wasn't built to win the NBA Cup. This team wasn't assembled to win the A Cup. They were assembled to win in May and hopefully June. So I think, keep playing together, learn to trust each other, and keep going there. But I think in fourth quarter, that's crunch time. And we're seeing teams that know how each other plays, that have played together for a couple years now, just kind of execute better down the stretch than the Knicks because they're still learning how to play together as a unit.
Well, you're a better man than me because I think the starters are tired, man. I think they need a Red Bull or some Big Knick Energy in the fourth quarter to be able to play better defense. So I guess two-part question. Would you like to see Tibbs give more guys some playing time tonight from the bench so the stars aren't logging so many minutes early in the season?
Well, I know I'm not alone in this, but I think we all want to see Ariel Portal get more time on the court and maybe take some of Sims' minutes out of the court. That's kind of the problem with the roster right now after the moves made this summer is that there just isn't a ton of depth yet. Hopefully Mitch comes back this winter, but, it's a thin team right now, and I think they're doing all they can with it. Take it from somebody who was in Philly for Game 6 last year, though. I've seen this team pretty tired and depleted execute against the Sixers, so I'm pretty optimistic for tonight.
We've had some guys come on and talk about how Tibbs doesn't really give guys playing time unless he trusts them. Who on the bench do you trust that could come in there and handle business?
Tyler Kolek by far. That I agree with you wholeheartedly. We got to get Tibbs past his, rookie thing, especially for this guy. He's clearly close to ready, if not already ready. I mean, he's looked great in the minutes he's played. And, he came out of college as more of a finished product than most draft picks do these days. So I think he's ready to take on a bigger burden.
All right, Tibbs got me tired, and I'm not even playing, man. All right, keys to a Knicks win tonight, man. The floor is yours.
Play hard for 48 minutes. I know this team's tired, and playing hard for 48 minutes is a challenge right now, but I think that's what you got to do. Also, you got to take advantage of this Sixers team that is going to be adjusting to getting Embiid back out there and playing with Paul George for the first time, like I said earlier. I think the Knicks have more talent, and it's just a matter of that talent executing to get the dub.
All right, man, tell the people they can find you, man. Shout out your platform.
Absolutely. First and foremost, follow Big Knick Energy on Instagram, Big Knick Energy _ on Twitter. And if you want to follow me, it's Jon Kolnoski on Instagram as well. And my co-host, Marky Capicato, shout out to him. He's on Twitter and Instagram also.
All right, man. Thanks for hopping on with us.
Thank you, Brandon. It's been a pleasure.